Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are back talking about a smartphone that I think a lot of you who are in the market for a pro-featured phone, but at a very good price around the holiday season, might be looking for something like, what can I get that's going to be around 500 US, or maybe even lesser than that, around 700 Singapore dollars. I have in my hands the phone that might just be the right one for you if you're into the Android system. This is the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro 5G. Let's talk about it. Okay, we'll go into some of the specs on this phone, what it's like to use, the cameras, and my final thoughts, so let's get down to it. Now, in terms of design, okay, this phone is very reminiscent of the Mi 10 Pro and a lot of the Xiaomi Mi series phones out into the market. The phone is very well built. It's got a beautiful back color to it. It's kind of got this frosted pearl look. I don't know what the exact name color of this name is. It's on the box somewhere, but it's beautiful, all right? But it's a very simple phone in its design, but it's high quality. That's the one thing I want to talk to you about, because a lot of the phones, even from the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro that I reviewed earlier this year, I was really impressed with the quality of that phone, and that was their flagship phone for that month, because you know Xiaomi releases phones like every other month, and this phone equals that build quality as well. You also got this massive camera housing on the back of it because you have a 108 megapixel camera on this, 13 megapixel wide, 5 megapixel zoom. We'll get into all that in just a bit. Okay, so let's move around and talk about the display on this. It's a 6.67 inch IPS LCD display. I think it's a 1080 2400 display, so it's not like high quality like QHD, but it's good enough for most people, and you won't notice a difference, to be honest with you. But it has a 144 hertz refresh rate on this, 395 PPI per pixel peepers out there, very high quality display. And the one thing I like about Xiaomi's displays is that if you're more into color accuracy, they do give you a lot of that options in the menu system. So you can go, P3 color gamut. If you want really saturated, if you want more of a flat look, you have those options, and you can even fine tune it to your liking, which I appreciate because I do edit a lot of photos and videos on my phones, and I want something that's going to be more color accurate for me. And the Xiaomi displays do work very well in that regard. But let's talk about what's underneath the hood on this. You have the Snapdragon 865 processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, up to 256 gigabytes of onboard storage. This is also fast RAM in this as well. And this phone, I'll just be honest with you, performs beautifully, flawlessly. There is no hiccups, no issues at all. You're getting pretty much flagship specs in a very budget phone price. Besides that, you got fast charging on this. Now you do have a fast charger inside the box. It's not as fast as the Mi 10 Pro, which would basically charge everything, but it does a relatively decent job. And also it does not have wireless charging, so keep that in mind. That's one thing they did alleviate, but of course you're paying a lot less in terms of price, so I'll forgive them on that. As long as that is the fast charging, I'm more than happy. Speakers on this sound fantastic. It's very loud, very vibrant, no issues at all with that. And that's essentially the Mi 10T Pro 5G. Now let's talk about what it's like to use. Simply put, it's a very good phone. You got Android 10, EMUI 12.0.6 or whatever it is at the time of this recording. It works flawlessly, folks. I mean, Xiaomi's skin on it, yes, it is more of a iPhone-esque skin, but it has a lot of features and a lot of attributes we're not seeing on other Android phones out there. It's very user-friendly, very easy to navigate. I mean, I think most Android skins are at that point now where they're not really impeding on the performance, and there's nothing like that at all with this phone. The thing is, I use this phone a lot for the cameras because of the 108 megapixel camera sensor on this, 8K video up to 30 frames per second. You got a 20 megapixel front-facing camera as well that does 1080p video, and all of that works really good. I have to give Xiaomi some credit on their camera systems. While they're not touted as, by some of the reviewers out there as, wow, these great cameras, they're actually really damn impressive, especially for the price point, and especially compared to the other Android competitors out there. You would be hard pressed to say that Xiaomi's not in the top 3 in terms of best cameras for smartphones for Android phones out there, because these are really good. Now, of course, 108 megapixel, as I've said in other reviews, is not a true 108 megapixels. It's pixel binning, combining a bunch of pixels to give you that 108 megapixel readout, but it's essentially like other smartphones out there, but the images are very clear, very sharp, decent enough dynamic range. I like them. The wide angle is good as well, but it's only 13 megapixels, and the telephoto and macro is 5 megapixels. So yes, it would be nice to have more of a uniformity with all 3 lenses, but again, we're at a very affordable price on this. And I'll tell you what, you go out there and you shoot, you got night mode, you got all those things, it works really good. Besides that, battery life, 5,000 milliamp battery inside of this thing. and I'm chugging through a battery, maybe a day and a half of usage on this phone. It's a very good performer in terms of battery life. No issues with me at all. And because it doesn't have that QHD display, I mean, yes, the 144 hertz refresh rate will drain your battery, but you can tone it down to whatever you'd like it to be. You have those options in it. If you want to max it out like I do, you will suffer a bit, but that's why you have a 5,000 milliamp battery to it. Besides that though, fingerprint reader on the side of it. There's no fingerprint reader underneath the display. I don't care. Actually like it on the side. It's much easier. You can read my face as well. All that's inside of it. You are really not missing out on anything. As a matter of fact, you're saving a lot of money. You can put it into your pocket and you can buy another gift or buy another case for this. Case in point, no pun intended, this case is antibacterial. I don't know how Xiaomi did it. They had some scientists in a lab that created it, but it's an antibacterial case. Comes inside the box, and as you can see, it says Xiaomi on the case, so you know what case you have. But it's great, doesn't get in the way, it's thin enough, and it feels really good, gives you a nice tactile feel because this phone can feel a little bit slippery in the hands without the case. It's a very smooth, kind of glossy, pearlized back to it. But it's quality. And you know, the one thing I do like that Xiaomi has done with this is it is a flat display now. There's no waterfall edges on the side of it, which I dislike. Why phone companies are still doing this? That is so 2012. Let's move on to 2020 where we like flat displays, where I can edit my photos or edit text to the edge of the display instead of having it swipe off and going, oh damn. Now I need to figure another way to do that. No issues with this at all. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro 5G. Can't believe I said it in one breath, but I did just that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Is there another phone that I should consider that I haven't tried yet? Let me know. Anyway, like always, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. Have a great holiday season, and we will chat to you soon. Take care.